this is the thing. Like, that podcast you love is like deep in its 30s, and so consequently, the sort of the human stories of the podcast are like childcare, a lot of work in the same day in multiple different directions, or in my case, waking up in the morning and finding out my arms don't work. So it's just the ailments corner that Riley and I like to do on our phone call planning the episodes is going to expand into the episodes and eventually become the episodes. And Trash Future in a few decades hopefully will still be going, still be doing very well, but both audience and cast will just be sort of like toothless, aged, complaining about various aches and pains.
I think what we could do is, I've got another startup for us. They said I could reverse mortgage my house.
I guess that's like our version of the right wing analog are like the people who are sort of still trying to kind of ride the anti-woke wave, but like are way too old for it now.
Yeah,
of which I'm noticing a lot more of that now. Just like your kind of like hosts from Unheard, like the Trigger Boys, like all this type of stuff. Whereas it's like you kind of watch their episodes now, or like you watch clips of it and you're just like, your heart's not in it anymore, man. Like
we could be those people. We could be the wokest, oldest bastards. We could be out there in AI generated t-shirts that say like, don't mess with a 65-year-old pronouns veteran.
I mean, look, yeah, like the sort of woke wars will kind of continue forever.
Of course.
But really there is a convergence. And I'm reminded a lot of like my favorite musician interview, which is Andre 3000, when he's asked by GQ, like, hey, why aren't you putting out a rap album and why are you putting out this weird flute music? And Andre 3000 basically says, what am I supposed to rap about? That I'm getting a colonoscopy, that my back hurts. And I'm just like, yeah, that's, I feel like we're all converging to that point, man. Like, we started out, we were young, we were willing to fight. And now it's just like we've all got different levels of like lower back pain. And that is how we're going to unite. That's how like, the culture wars finishes, because we recognize that we have more in common than what divides us. And what we have in common is the fact that we all have like lower back pain.
Yeah. You wanted to leave the EU. I wanted to stay in the EU. You wanted to like shoot refugees. I wanted to welcome refugees. Both of our backs hurt the same amount.
Hey,
that's right.
No Brexiteer ever gave me sciatica.
Yeah, maybe this is the unifying force. Reform blown the fuck out at the polls by the old bastards party, the one party capable of sort of like dealing with the reality of our aging population.
Oh, I can say I am feeling much more energized now. I'm ready to do the podcast.
This is the thing. This is one of the great pleasures of being old, I've always imagined, right? Is you could do the thing of like disappearing up your own ass into nostalgia and being like, oh, who remembers school dinners or whatever? But the more entertaining thing to do is to revel in being old and to be like, I hate being old so much. Everything hurts. My life is miserable, and just complain and complain and complain. That's a beautiful existence. I look forward to it, truly.
Yeah. And I guess we just have to use it in like a more productive way. Like, Britain has like more than enough of like old people who just complain about being old and like complain about everything hurting.
Yeah, they're not organized.
But you say that they're not organized. They've been very successful at being able to channel like this kind of like minor level frustration. Like they've been able to channel like the frustration about their back pain into like something of a coherent political project, but one that is very much rooted in like, it's all the fault of like millennials and we're going to like fuck them as much as we can. But the thing is like the millennials are getting older as well. Like we are also all getting back pain.
It's true.
Some of us more than others. And we have to like use that frustration productively. That is, I think, the great test of our time. And then when the Zoomers get their versions of back pain, they're going to have to find their own iteration of that.
Yeah. Our back pain, comrade.
Workers of the world, stand up and then do a little twist so you crack your spine. So we actually have a guest in the second half of the episode today. Probably should have mentioned it.
Yes, my chiropractor.
I would never talk to a chiropractor, although I do often get fed YouTube shorts of chiropractic. It's like YouTube's trying to make me go to a chiropractor.
Yeah, they want to find out like what sound your neck makes when it's twisted like quickly. I don't know why. But
oh God, I'm just realizing taking forever to introduce the guest, never getting on topic, never staying on topic. This too is aging. We are the podcast that is like hanging out with your nan.
So we're going to be joined by Argentine YouTuber and political economist Ezequiel Bistoletti, and I'm just going to talk all about with him. I mean, I've already done this, so I know what we're going to talk about. I know through the magic of podcasting about Millei-ism, what that $40 billion worth of American bailout of their libertarian client state looks like.
Yeah, a lot of weird stuff going on over there economically, so lots to get into. I was sorry to have missed it, or rather, I will be sorry to miss it in the future when it will happen.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you, November, for using what I call the podcast imperfect tense. So I wanted to talk about a few old friends before we get there, though. A little dessert in the front half.
That feels like a heinous euphemism for something.
God.
Dessert in the front half. I'm not sure what that means, but I'll meditate on that and I'll come back to you.
So, first old friend, Palmer Luckey, someone we've been talking about more and more.
The man who knows no shower.
I'm sure some people might have seen this, some people might have not. I wanted to save this for when Matt Boris and Ben Clarkson come back on, which will be relatively soon, so do look forward to that. But Palmer Luckey has taken the went on like a sort of edgelordy tech podcast and has taken two positions.
But just before you get into the positions, I do just want to say, as a representative of the transgender woman community, I really don't appreciate Palmer Luckey's like two things being bad personal hygiene and trying to incorporate a lot of like tactical warfighter shit into his daily wardrobe, because that's our things.
I bet he plays Paradox games too.
God fucking damn it.
Yeah. So no, here's his staked out two new positions. Number one is the I'd say most predictable position he could have staked out, which is that women should be having children in their teens.
And to be clear, he specified like young teens.
Yeah, like 15. Rightly. He's like, I've heard it said before that given how close people like this are to the government, this is the most pro-pedophile administration in the United States in history.
Absolutely. Yeah. Pro-pedophile, pro-rape. Like it feels sort of like uncomfortably like sort of libidinal, and like you're not doing sort of grown-up adult politics to notice how like it like pro those things all the policy is, but really there's no other explanation at times.
But the other position is, I would say, borders on the more whimsical.
Oh, good. The whimsical file. You have to cut that because I can't even call him a file.
Just beep it. Just keep file. It could have been audio file.
You can never have enough whimsy in your cinemaphilia or whatever. Like,
yeah, he loves Wes Anderson. Wink, wink.
Well, the thing about Wes Anderson is that the child is always very centered in the frame, you know?
And there's a lot of primary colors. Anyway, so here's the second position. Second position is that America and Americans smoked their way to being the dominant hyperpower. It kept people focused, fit. It's an appetite suppressant. I'm becoming more and more convinced that the health benefits of not smoking have not been properly traded against the health problems caused by the resultant eating.
Yeah, sure, man, whatever. This is up there with Dasha being like, we should keep all the like street lamps sodium orange or whatever. It's just, you want to go back because you too are getting old and you're experiencing lower back pain. I mean, lower back pain that in Palmer Luckey's case is going through like an inch thick layer of kind of body grease that's accumulated because the man does not wash.
This does kind of feel like you're just sort of saying stuff now. Like, you're not even convinced about it. You are just saying stuff.
But listen, if Anduril wants to take its money and instead of trying to like sell putting sort of like rearview mirrors in front of like soldiers like eyes or whatever on helmets, and instead try to invent the cigarette that's good for you, then yeah, sure, fantastic. Because I've been saying for a long time that the cigarette that's good for you is that kind of like civilizational technology that we really need. I don't trust them to do it, is the problem.
Yeah. You know what it is? They're finally going to make a version of Zins that aren't soy. You know, Tucker couldn't do it.
Oh, God.
So there are another couple of other little old friends, of course. Shaun Maguire, a investor at Sequoia Capital, is so online groiper-pilled.
The crash out, yes.
Yeah. He's causing like other partners at Sequoia to resign.
Yeah, so what he did, as I recall, was to post a long, I think you can call it a screed.
Yeah, he's definitely posting screeds.
He's screed posting, and he's screed posting Islamophobically, which is not great when, well, it's not great in general, but in a sort of like hedge fund analysis, it's not great if you, for instance, want to do business with, I don't know, like the Saudis or the Qataris or whatever, because those guys, it turns out, read your tweets.
Yeah, I mean, also, it's probably worth noting that like those guys are also Islamophobic, but they're like Islamophobic in very, very specific ways. Yeah. But you're not allowed to be if like you're not one of them. right? I think people have sort of got it mistaken. It was like, oh yeah, like they're Muslim, and so like, you know, they'd be offended. It's like, I don't think they really give a shit, but it's more like the thing about like, they have a very specific kind of Islamophobia. Now, if, you know, I feel like if Shaun Maguire was like Shia phobic, then that would be actually more beneficial. If I was like at Sequoia Capital, I'd be like, look, buddy, like you got to cool it with the Islamophobia, but if you have to do it, then like, you know, you got to like at least make it kind of anti-Shia, right? You got to like,
it has to be Islamophobic, it has to be like anti-Arab in a way that's congruent with the kind of aspirations of like MBS's third cousin twice removed.
Yeah.
You know?